Hey guys, Tom here, and today's episode we're actually recording live at a brewery for the first time. We did it out of Bad Sons Beer Company from Derby, Connecticut. Just some really great time, some great people there. It was fun to catch up with Mark, the owner and the brewmaster, and Lauren, the general manager. Just some great people. We had a really great time. There's no video for this episode. We were kind of sat at like a square rectangle table. It would have been strange to film, so just audio for this one. And again, it's a little rough, but we are at the brewery, so it's more authentic. We had a great time there. If you ever do want us to record at your brewery or just your favorite brewery, let us know. We want to film more at breweries, so send us an email at hopsandbopspodcast@gmail.com, or just send us a message on Facebook and Instagram. That's where we're the most active. And yeah, you enjoy the episode. All right, guys, welcome to episode 59 of the Hops Bops Podcast. I'm Producer Tom.
I'm Joe.
Mike.
And of course, we're doing our very first episode on location at Bad Sons in Derby, Connecticut. And with us, we have Mark, the headmaster and owner of Bad Sons, and Lauren, the general manager.
Headmaster, like walking Harry Potter.
Walking around with a ruler.
You should.
Right, give me your knuckles.
Where's your cloak?
How you guys doing?
Good.
Yeah, we're very
Happy
excited.
Thursday.
Yes, this is our Halloween episode.
Coming out Halloween.
Yep.
My wife's birthday is Halloween.
Oh,
Okay.
happy birthday.
She's in there somewhere. Actually, now that I'm sitting here, she probably took off.
But he's
This
busy.
is her time away.
So we're gonna try a couple of their brews. Some of them aren't even out as of the recording of this episode. Is that correct? Yeah. So we got a couple first times. They will be out by then, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think tomorrow.
Yeah.
This will come out
This is tomorrow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this will
We
be
got the day preview.
Yes.
Step
Yes.
ahead.
Yeah.
Very exclusive.
Yeah.
Prequel.
All right.
Yes.
So what we got first?
So this is Mechanical Milkman. It has some history. I'll let Mark trigger on the history. It's a 5.5% milk stout. We pour it on nitro, so it's nice, creamy, lighter body, wonderful head smell. Delicious. So I'm
sweet.
psyched
Yeah,
to
it's like a
have
sweet
this
milk
back.
stout. Nice, easy to drink and sweet milk stout. So it's
Yeah.
creamy, kind of like
Cheers.
almost like a
Cheers.
chocolate milk coffee.
Thanks for
Cheers.
having us.
Oh,
Lauren
Thank
and
you
Mark.
so much. It's
Thank you.
awesome.
Thank you.
It's a lovely
Great.
environment here.
So you have to tell them about Mechanical Milkman, how that
Mechanical
came to life.
Milkman it's an old valley thing. So it started over here in Derby. Mechanical Milkman.
Oh, we got a little guest here. No, you're good. You're good.
You're good.
What happened?
Johnny from Beer Man Beer.
Right, yeah.
Hey!
Beer Man Beer
Guys, sorry to
Podcast.
interrupt, man. I'll get out of the way.
No,
Come
you're right.
join us.
Celebrity appearance.
What's some cherry?
Some who?
Cherry.
Oh, nice.
Cherry. All right. Nice.
You getting drunk tonight?
Lock those
Yeah, pour over
doors.
seat.
We got more.
So I
All right,
find it.
so carry on about Milkman because it is
Oh
important.
yeah. So the Mechanical Milkman, it's an old thing from here in Derby. It's basically there was and I remember him as a kid because I'm from the valley. And up in 𝘿𝐿, there was one up by me in 𝘿𝐿. It was an old vending machine with little cartons of milk in it.
Okay.
And that was the company was called Mechanical Milkman because that's how they used to. They had them all over the place. They had them on street corners and stuff like that. It was awesome. So it was a nickel. You got a little carton, a little 6-ounce or 8-ounce carton of milk, chocolate milk or white milk, and every day we used to get it. It was great. I still have one of the milk crates, the wooden milk crates here, that was actually in the building when I bought the building. Which was
really?
awesome.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and then so come to find out that the Kellogg's family built this building. Originally built this building 1894. Yeah, 1894, and it was a dairy transfer station. So this place started off as a beverage building.
I was going to ask what the original purpose.
Yeah, it
of
was
the
a
building
beverage. It was
Okay.
a dairy transfer station, and that's how the Mechanical Milkman was out of here because that was one of the dairies that came out of this.
Cool.
But it's awesome. It's just when I bought this building, it actually took me almost 15 years to buy this building.
Okay.
I used to come see the guy once a year, twice a year, bring him coffee. Old guy, awesome mangers. I'm only the third owner of this building actually. His family was the second owner. I'm the third owner.
Oh, wow.
But it took close to 15 years before the guy retired. And he called me up one day. He was just like, "I'm ready to sell the building." I came down, sat with him for like 10 minutes, shook hands, and it was a done deal.
Wow.
Yeah, it was old school. The guy was 80 something.
Yeah.
He was
What-
fucking beautiful.
Was your vision of this building always
Yeah,
a brewery?
the first time I came down here, I was driving by, and I remember driving by and just thinking, what a great building. So I stopped, and I was just looking through the windows on the outside, walking around the building, and just was like, I always said that this building was built to be a brewery today. Whoever built it, the Kellogg's, when they built it back 100 years ago, it was designed perfectly to be a brewery today.
Yeah.
The ceilings, the tall ceilings, the design, the layout of it. Even my water supply comes from their property down the road, the old Kellogg property down the road, from their well. So it's great water. Just everything about it.
Awesome.
And the guy finally sold me the building.
That's a great.
You know what the best part about it is? The guy was like 86 years old, Paul Manger. Smart as a whip. The guy graduated from MIT with a math degree, Harvard with an engineering degree. Was fought in the war. Was just like everything.
Yeah.
I mean, just the ultimate.
Makes us feel like a bunch of chumps.
Right. Exactly. Right. It's unbelievable.
What a fucking loser I am.
Believe it or not, he liked me. He liked me because I worked with my hands. That's why he liked me. Because I worked with my hands.
Yeah.
But it was like, I don't know, maybe 3 weeks after we opened.
Yep.
So I bought the building from the guy. Not, it wasn't crazy.
Yeah.
It was great price for the building because the guy just wanted to like, listen, my family's not taking it, so just basically take it.
Yeah.
And about 3 weeks after I opened, he comes fucking ripping into the parking lot with a brand new Porsche Carrera.
That you
Top
bought.
down, basically. Top down, got with sunglasses on. I'm just like, holy shit, Paul. He goes, I always wanted one of these. You made it possible. I'm like, you are the fucking best, dude. 86-year-old man.
That's awesome.
Drove from Cape Cod.
Wow.
Drove over from Cape Cod. That day.
So tell us about the name Bad Sons.
Bad Sons is basically the first letter of every town in the Lower North Carolina.
Yes.
You got Beacon Falls, Ansonia, Derby, Shelton, Oxford, Naugatuck, and Seymour. Cool. I put Shelton first because I'm from Shelton. And Seymour.
Derby and Shelton have to be next to each other.
Right,
It gets
good job,
really electric.
So that's kind of like the true gist of the name of the brewery, but it's also a second part of it where because my brother and I own the brewery together.
Okay.
And our oldest brother is a pastor. So my brother and I being in the alcohol business, and him being a pastor, my father always said, "You guys are the bad sons. He's the good son." So it just kind of, it was just like
Meant to be at that point.
Yeah, absolutely has to. And then once we came up with the name, once we had the name, I was like, I have to make a logo that looks like it should be a tattoo.
Yeah.
It's got to be a badass.
That's cool. That is, yeah. No, I see.
That's
I
what it
see
is.
that.
Yeah.
Well, we always say that our logo,
Yeah.
Mojo. If you took an X-ray of Mojo,
There you go.
You
That's
got-
what it is. That's pretty funny.
That's what it looks like on the inside.
And that was
That's
completely
actually pretty funny.
unintentional.
unintentional.
That's all right. You'll still get the cease and desist.
Well, this is taking a turn.
Yeah,
Cha-cha-cha.
no problem.
Thanks for having us.
I'm gonna have to give him my Porsche.
Yeah, right. Nobody like that one.
I gotta say, I'm not one to go out and get stouts usually,
Yeah,
but this
right.
one is so smooth. That
It's just
nitro
smooth. I
added
love
to it.
that,
Like,
yeah.
it's just,
Oh, yeah.
it really
It's got
does.
that creaminess to it. Yeah.
It doesn't
It's
drink
just
like that.
Sweet, creamy, nice,
sweet.
easy drinking stout. Yeah.
Yeah.
If
doesn't
milk stout
drink
or
like that.
a London sweet stout,
Yeah.
same sort of
Okay.
name, styling. And I mean, we do October every year for us is something we call Stouttober.
Yes.
And Stouttoberfest is month long for us, and we try to release new stouts throughout the month. And
Ours
kind
and
of make,
other breweries, local
Yeah.
breweries.
yeah, a lot of folks do. It's stout season. I heard you, Tom.
No, I mean, we use other people's stouts also. We
Yeah,
don't just
oh,
do
yeah.
our own stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like to
So-
bring in other brewery stouts too, because everybody does great.
And being able to pull in from other places that don't come to the valley. A lot of valley folks are, they run the strip from Route 8, and that's their proximity. So we try to pull in places that you wouldn't normally know of or you wouldn't normally go to unless you knew that what you were getting was great. So we pulled in Little House Brewing in Chester.
Yep.
Shout out to Sam and Lyle because they were wonderful people. They gave us apple cider Jonas last weekend, which was gone in like one night. We had it for one night, one keg.
Mars, right?
It was
No, you said it was barley wine?
It was a
Scotch ale.
cider Scotch ale.
Scotch ale.
Yes. So they did it with apple cider donuts and apple pies. It was definitely in par with the fall season and
the
what
kids.
we were doing
Yeah.
for the kids.
For the kids.
My kid will love
Basic.
it.
I love it. The kids love it. The kids love it.
And again, it's one of those places like Chester is far. So if you're gonna make that trek, like
Yeah, I have family down there, so I
it's
know.
far. So and it's in the
down
middle of
there.
nowhere, but it's if you have a place to
It's
go.
in Canada, right? That's in
Do it,
Canada.
you
Yeah.
know, all the way up. But it was, again, we don't have any Scotch ales on tap right now, so it doesn't impede on any stylings, but it also fits into stuff that works for other people if they've ever had a Scotch ale. Just elevate it. And we have another Voldemort release of a beer that I won't speak on just now that's coming down the pike next week for our big Stouttoberfest weekend. We have some cool shit coming down the pike, so
Not be named.
yeah, I can't tell you. It's super secret,
Okay.
but it's gonna be
It's so
so
good.
good.
I get excited.
Celebrating some specific brewer somewhere's wedding. That's all I'll say.
I see. Okay.
All right, nice.
I gotta say, this is one of my favorite stouts.
Yes.
Yeah,
I'm not a
great.
huge stout guy, but this I can definitely see myself drinking.
No,
this
really,
one.
it is. It's smooth. A lot of times you feel like you drink a stout and it gets so heavy on you.
It gets
It's
heavy
like
on
you
you,
just- You have one and you're like, oh, it ain't
Dude,
so
I got
good.
buddies who drink just stouts. I look at them
It's
like,
fun.
you're out of your fucking mind.
I know.
Yeah.
I mean, what is wrong with it? Seriously, what is wrong with
And
it?
some stouts to me like don't even have much flavor. Like this has the
Right.
flavor. That,
Oh, yeah.
that extra sweetness is like nice.
Yeah, too roast, some are
Extract.
too roasted, too bitter, and it's just like,
Or too boozy.
get it.
Like if
Yeah.
you're
So
throwing
good.
it in a barrel, forget it.
Yeah.
Like,
It gets
it's
that really
a
alcoholic.
glass of wine that tastes like molasses that
Yeah.
is tough to get down. It's
a great
and then
description.
You've got to break your palate up.
For sure. For sure.
So,
Cool.
but we're stout people. Mark has
Yeah.
won some
Awesome.
awards
Everything.
for his
I like
stouts
everything.
too. So he's got some good shit on that.
Awesome.
yeah, we got a gold medal with the Ghost of Perdition, right?
Oh, nice.
Russian Imperial.
Yeah, the Russian Imperial.
So then on the podcast, we like to talk about music, and
Yeah,
we usually
yeah.
do albums,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Mark has thrown at us 4 songs that have,
Achy Breaky Heart was one of them.
yes,
Yes.
yes.
Bop was your 90s one.
Billy
You're
Ray.
so emotional.
Tell me you didn't know Bop. That's like saying you never Wang Chung. You know?
You're so
Right.
fancy, Murky.
So he gave us a song from pretty much each decade of like your brewing
Yeah, I kind of looked at it
beer
as more
experience.
of because I
Yeah.
realized that I've been a brewer in almost every decade I've been alive, 20s, 30s, 40s, and 50s.
Okay.
So it's like, you know, and I'm not a huge like.
Now
I
you
was
weren't
talking
really
to-
like an infant teenage brewer.
Well, no,
You start
well,
20s?
that was a quality.
I mean,
control.
whiskey-
That was the learning stuff.
Whiskey
Gotcha.
on the gums is
yeah,
just
that
a
was-
familial
Right.
thing.
You started
I
with the
mean,
milk and everything.
I was doing all
That's where the milk came from.
the small batch stuff at that.
But we're
I did.
here.
You know what? I was able to say to my father, "See, all that fucking drinking I did in high school, it did pay off."
It's true.
You're never gonna make anything of this market.
Right. It did pay off.
Learning experience.
It did pay off.
Well,
Yeah.
and we're like music is a big part of the Bad Sons culture and who like Mark is, who I am, who we
Yeah.
are, and what we
Every
push out in
genre,
the world.
almost every genre, right?
Seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I mean, we were here for a couple hours, and the
Change,
music coming
yeah.
through is all different genres.
Yeah, yeah.
Great.
Something for everyone.
And we have live music on Fridays right now, which is a big part of what we're trying to do to
Yeah.
pull in people to
Yeah, we
hear.
know a little something about the live music.
Oh yeah?
Fridays. Yeah.
Tell me more.
Yeah, well, I mean, this little band that we
Shameless
talk
plug.
time from time on the podcast called the Smooth Series. We played her a couple weeks ago, had a blast.
It's okay, I'll take a tip.
I gotta pay for the sponsor now.
Yeah,
Thanks, Joe.
Yeah, Joe.
It's caught.
Joe
Yeah,
and
okay, you just hit the floor.
Yeah,
Joe and Mike's band played here a couple weeks ago. Last week, a couple weeks
Yeah,
ago.
Yeah.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. It was a good time.
Oh yeah, it was a lot of fun.
You're on the bell, right? You're the cowbell guy?
Yeah,
That's all he
The
plays.
triangle.
That's
Yeah,
it.
that's it.
Triangle. Yeah.
Aggressive triangle.
If that.
Xylophone.
Yep.
All right,
So
let's
you
get
want
into
to,
these songs here.
Yeah.
Introduce the first song.
Yeah.
Do you remember what it was?
I do.
Have a drink on me.
Yeah, have a drink on me. That's right.
Oh,
It was
Marky,
AC/DC,
your
have a drink on me.
20s is a time.
Ah, dude, I
Take
can't.
us back.
Speak on it, sweetie.
Ooh, fuck. That's what I gotta say about this. Yeah, it was. It's. I think it was. The reason I'm saying that song, and not to mention, I just love AC/DC.
Yeah, yeah.
But when I opened up the brewery, and I was 25 years old. When I opened up in '96, I opened up Southport Brewing Company. I was, 26 years old. And you know, at that age, obviously, you're doing. You're
What,
you're
26-year-olds
you're partying too. You're not
do?
just working. You're partying.
You're
Right.
enjoying that. You
Yeah,
don't.
you are enjoying
You're drinking
exactly
for
what
free.
you're doing. Yeah, you're enjoying everything about it. And that place was, because we were the first to do in Connecticut that type of brew pub where it's, it's 10,000 square feet, high-end restaurant to the place. It's over 300 seats.
Yeah.
7-barrel BME system. I had a constant 10 to 12 beers on tap all made in house.
And this was the Fairfield location,
This was
right?
the Southport.
Southport.
Southport location. So it was we were the first to do what was that type of true brewery, brew pub type of thing, rather than that, the typical, and which I still love today, walking in, opening up a garage door and walking into a brewery. So it was war. It was absolute war. It was just like, we were clueless of what we were doing, and we were, there were nights.
You don't know how to succeed. You don't know how to fail in that. It's new.
The first 3 weeks that we were there, we ran out of food every night by 9, 10 o'clock at night because it was just so absolute nuts. So I would get there 6 o'clock in the morning. I'd brew all day. I'd get changed. I'd go to the kitchen, to the line, expedite food all night long. Finish the kitchen up by 11 o'clock. Go into the bar. Start, helping out in the bar, doing stuff until 2 o'clock in the morning. And, you have the pints here and there. I'd get home, every night of the week by 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. Sleep 2 hours, go right back to work and have to brew. It was insane. It was insane. That was for years. That was actually for years. So have a drink on me was it really was. That's all it was. Because every one of my friends was there every night of the week because we're all at that age.
Yep.
And I just helped everybody get to that, either to the meeting or not have to go to the meeting for the first couple of years, So it was always, that's why Have a Drink on Me was the song that definitely comes out of that beginning of my career.
Tom, how old are you?
I'm 23.
Oh my God.
That's great, dude.
I was going to say, you
even
can
know
own
what
a brewery in
AC/DC
3 years.
is?
I was already knee deep.
And AC/DC in itself is a badass grind rock, classic rock.
But I
genre
coached
itself.
football for a long time for my kids.
That's all you hear on speakers at football.
That's it. That's what I played every time I walking into the game.
Thunderstruck
Walking onto the field.
the shit out of that.
We walked in my wedding. We walked into Thunderstruck.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely. Hell of a song.
And there was another song on this list involved in your wedding too, right?
Was it the crying song from?
You and Mike have so much
let's get it.
The crying game song.
And then I was laughing, we were talking earlier, but
friend.
Have a Drink on Me is one of the first AC/DC songs I learned on guitar.
No, is it really?
Just that little riff. I
Yeah,
just thought it
it's
was
pretty cool.
a simple riff, but it was a lot of fun. It sounds good.
The drums on AC/DC are very tough. Though.
They are.
They're sick.
Well,
They're sick.
I would have to say the voice is probably the hardest.
yes.
So I've
it's-
heard people play it before. You cannot hear anybody singing.
No.
So it's pretty interesting when you talk about this song. So obviously, Bon Scott had passed away months before this album came out. So there's some speculation that he actually had written a lot of the lyrics and music to this album, and then they brought in Bon Scott, and he took, or not Bon Scott, but Brian Johnson, and then he took over, but he gets the credit
Credit
of course,
for it, yeah.
So there's some
And all
argument
because they
there.
kind of sounded alike.
Yeah. But then if you read a little deeper, actually, Bon Scott was originally a drummer prior to being a vocalist, and for the Spectres. And he actually,
Was he really?
Yeah, he was one of the drummers. And the original demo of Have a Drink on Me, he actually played the drums for it.
Oh shit.
Yeah, the original demo version. So it's cool to see some of that.
That's some deep stuff.
Yeah. We just deep dove right into that.
That's what we
shit.
do.
I'm taking it.
Scrolling the wiki
I'm
for it,
about it. I'm about it.
I'd have to go check to see who Googled me. If you Google me,
No.
you know more about me than I know about me.
In the 7th grade,
a
you
good
pictured
job.
Rose on the
It's
bus.
a good looking mugshot.
Yeah, but that's
Marty.
easy. Of course I did.
The mugshot is actually what the outline of this
That's
is.
what it is.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
That's the best part, though. No mugshots. I've never been asked to step out of a vehicle. So I'm good.
Good. Excellent. That is great.
No flashlights in my eyes.
Negatory.
Awesome.
Yeah. You can't go wrong with anything on Back in Black, though. That whole
Oh,
album.
Great album.
legendary.
All right, we got our next one.
Our
Lupify.
big boy.
This is one of your flagship, right?
This is. I've been brewing this beer for a long time under a different name, but now that it's lubrified now.
Okay.
It's my all-time favorite. This is brewed by a brewer for the brewer.
Yeah.
That's why this beer
Okay,
is
makes
always
sense.
on tap. because I drink it.
Yep. Now, this is a single.
It's
Oh,
a,
no,
no,
no.
it's
It's
8.2.
double.
It's an
Okay.
8.2.
Dubious
We hide
is
the,
the
yeah,
single.
I hide the.
Yeah.
I'm known for hiding the booze in
Yes,
my
he
beers.
is.
So
Yeah.
you can't really
You did
tell.
well.
All my
we-
doubles, you
Christ.
can never tell. My triples,
Well,
you can't tell.
We previously did 𝙈𝙧𝙧 on our
Yeah,
Yes.
Dubage.
podcast.
The man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking guy.
And that was an awesome beer.
Yeah.
9% single. I mean,
Yeah.
that,
I think you gave it a 10.
I did give it a 10.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah, I
I
gave it a 10.
appreciate that.
Yeah.
One of the only couple we've ever given 10.
Yeah, yep.
Well, it's an honor. It's an honor.
Yeah, but I
You get a T-shirt.
Dubage,
There you go.
Nice.
Dubage has its own backstory in and of itself.
Yeah.
But
Great story.
yes,
The state, the feds.
feds.
Feds came down on me pretty hard.
The man.
Uh-oh. The soups?
Dubious' original name was Dubage.
Okay.
And I actually just was like, fuck it, I'm doing cans of it and I'm just sending it out.
Yeah.
I don't, whatever. And then, so it took a little bit, it took, maybe about the first 6 months I had it out there. And then they kept saying, you can't do that. And I'm like,
Can't
what
put
do you mean I can't do
Dubage
it?
on a can.
It's Dubage. I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Dude,
That's what I kept saying. I'm like, it's Dubage. And the guy-
People order that.
RJ.
yeah. And the guy kept saying, listen to me. Finally at the end he goes, listen to me. He goes, we know what Dubage is. There is no other definition that you can, if you come up with another definition of Dubage, you can keep the name. That's basically what he said to me.
You got
I was
nothing.
like, okay, I'll change it.
And now that's dubious.
Yeah.
I mean,
Dubious.
yes, dubious.
Now it's
Yep.
dubious.
So then the homage to Dubage,
Yeah.
so to speak.
No, so Dubage
Dubage is the homage.
which is another great band from the 80s.
Yes.
There's
That's
an
the
R
Duran
right there, so
Duran.
I'm thinking R.
Nah.
Pretty
Duran,
cool.
Duran,
They were all brothers. They were brothers. The recipe's different now.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's different hops. Same malt recipe, same malt. Well, I went 9% on this one. It was first time I did it 7.2, and I was like, why would I even bother?
Yeah.
Make this a 9%er. I changed the hops out for all real dank. Just it had the
Really
the
rich.
Centennials in it. The
Yeah,
Irish
that was very
Sevens,
rich.
fucking,
Yes.
just Simcoe, just dank.
Double dry hops,
Double
super
dry
loud.
hops.
Yeah.
Big backbone to the beer. So it's just I love making it. It's enjoyable making it.
And now that's a tap room only buy. That's
Yes.
how you
Yes.
can kind of.
Correct.
Yeah.
Because you don't put it out in the wild,
Right.
you don't need to worry about the TTV caring about what you're saying on that.
Right.
So if
The more
it's
you
just
know.
here, then
And I always say, come get me, copper.
I'm come and get
Come
it.
and get me.
Yep.
And that was 420 release for reasons.
Yeah.
And
With a
then
nice 1.25 bed sheet. Back to go with it.
yes, inch and a quarter bed sheets came
Inch and
along with
quarter
those
bed
4
sheets
packs.
with it,
Yep.
And,
Sit down, bro.
Yeah,
and
join
that
us.
was
Come
that
on
was
over,
Dubage.
Johnny.
Now we're discussing Lupified.
Yes,
which
Lupified.
is-
Lupified, which is
Lupified.
like I said, it's brewed by a brewer for the brewer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just
Yeah.
glad. What makes me happy is that a lot of people like this beer.
No,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
Very
great.
good.
It's a true. It's not an East Coast. It's not a West Coast. It's a true. This is what I like about a beer, and I'm gonna do those flavors in that beer.
And it still finishes far less than what your ABV
Yeah, you
can press that to.
The only time you know it's 8.2 is when you fall off the seat.
When you hit the third one.
Yes.
We'll
Oh,
talk
yeah.
about that. You could get 2 all the way down, but you'd never quite finish that third can.
No, this
That'll
is
make
First,
you all
the
excited.
first I love you, man. Then you know it's 8.2.
Went under over how many minutes until the first I love you, man?
We're getting close.
It's your first board.
Yeah.
You got the timer on?
I can start it right now.
Depends on which song Marks decides to go with next.
What are we going with next?
the next one was originally
Originally, yeah, right.
Kryptonite
Yeah, but I
at
don't
Three
want to
Doors
talk about
Round.
it, man. I already told you I don't want to talk
And
about
then we already decided that
No
wasn't being
comment.
discussed.
it. Which maybe, who knows, after a couple more loops, you might,
We'll
you might,
see.
Might
Might
love
say,
you,
"I love you, man."
And we'll trigger 3 doors down.
And then we transitioned.
Yeah.
Do you still-
when I say I take my shirt off, I have the Superman thing on. I'm in full-on blue tight.
Yep.
It's the only way I leave the house.
You need a telephone booth.
Yeah, the only way
I
I leave
have the cape on the ready.
So Christopher Reeves decided Night Train. was the
Night
next
Train.
song. Night Train.
Night
So
Train.
GNR,
Yeah, right, Night
baby.
Train. So those are my 30s.
There it is.
Okay.
Yes.
That's when the train started rolling. I could have actually probably went with Crazy Train too. I could have.
So did you pick these songs because like the title kind of matches what was going
Yeah,
on in
that's
your
exactly
life?
what it is.
Okay, cool.
It's not just the title.
Not like
The
when
lyrical
also,
content.
It was also the music itself, the way it just kind of like set like who I was at that point too. I mean, not like I wasn't like a crazy fucking insane man, but it was a
No, you
1,000
wouldn't
miles
own
an
this
hour.
brewery
I mean,
right
we were going 1,000 miles an hour every day.
Yeah.
At that point in our career, we opened up Stanford, so we had the two breweries going. We had the one in Southport, we had the one in Stanford. Both were insane, crazy busy, and we were running them ourselves. So it was literally.
You and Bill just
my
grinding.
poor wife. She's been with me since before I opened up the breweries, and still around, which is great.
Somehow.
Still around, which is great. I don't know.
She's a
She's
queen.
still here tonight, though? She's
Yeah,
still
she's
here.
here.
Yeah, she's still
She's
here
a
tonight.
queen in and of
I actually
herself.
built the house too, so I would literally,
He's my MacGyver.
I would get up in the morning, about 5 o'clock in the morning, go to my job site that I was building the house at, and fucking bang nails, do whatever I had to do, get shit done, get down to the brewery, do whatever I have to do all day. After get back to the house 5 o'clock at night, work till dark, and then go home. Which was a little apartment right over here, down underneath Route 8 Bridge. We were we were on Hull Street underneath it. And so I did that. I was building the house for about a year, and took about a year and a half, almost 2 years to build the house. We opened up Stanford in the same time and had 2 kids. And that was the beginning of my 30s.
Welcome to the
Jesus.
night train, indeed.
And running the fucking craziest restaurant brewery in the state. Insane.
For sure.
Insane.
So I think it's really funny
Insane.
that I have like a beer glass collection in my basement,
Yeah.
and I have an SPC glass, and I'm not even sure why, but I have it come from you or something. I don't even know.
So I travel a lot.
That's vintage
My
I
right
just
there.
have one literally in my basement.
My wife and
Never
I
get
travel
ready.
quite a bit.
Yeah.
We're skiers. I was a ski instructor also for a while. And so we travel, we ski, we do a lot of, go many places we can. And we always go to breweries. It's always okay, what breweries in this town or what's close to this town.
Same.
I see my fucking pint glass everywhere. The Southport Brewery Company pint glass everywhere.
I have one sitting in my basement, and I'm not even sure how
It's
I got
insane.
it. I don't think we went.
Right.
So I don't even know, but I have one.
She stole it. Tell me.
No,
where
I know I
you
stole it. I just don't know from where.
It was acquired. It was liberated.
That's
I
my
just don't
word.
know from
acquired.
where.
It was
because I've never done that.
liberated from its
$1.95. It cost
location.
me $1.95.
It was a bar raffle.
Oh, that's all.
I'm saying you're gonna need a jar by the end of this episode.
Give us $2.
Michael.
You might need more.
Can I
It'll be
Venmo
more. Don't pay
$2?
yet. Don't pay. I'll get the credit card reader out pretty soon.
All right. Yeah.
Actually, no, I do have
You got
6
Square,
out of
right?
10.
You got Square.
Swipe your
We
I
do
got it right on my
Don't
phone.
leave this table.
Let's
We do have a tab open at the bar.
go. Let's go.
Yeah, so night train.
Yes.
Yeah.
Night train it
Yeah.
was, dude. It was, it was 1,000 miles an hour. It was 1,000 miles an hour. And it had to be because I just had so much to do. And and when they say there's not enough time in the day, there was not enough time. There was not enough time. It's crazy. 7 days a week, just going 1,000 miles.
And Guns N' Roses
And that lasted a
is
while.
its own epic,
Yeah.
like equivalency to what you were talking about. Like when I think about like what hypes up football, like you were saying, all I hear is ACD and Guns N' Roses.
Yeah, right.
So GNR for me is hype music. Like
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
I get
But
fired
good,
up.
but good. Like,
Good
Yeah,
hype.
it isn't like.
Right.
No, like
Rah,
that's
rah,
when
rah.
I want to walk into if I'm gonna wrestle someone.
I mean, the intro to Welcome to the Jungle alone.
It's rip your sleeves
That is
off.
like
How can you
a
not?
staple
Oh, yeah.
for any football everywhere.
That debut album is just one of the biggest
Hands down.
things. I mean,
Well, yeah, again, we're talking about like Back in Black being such an iconic
That's what I'm
topic.
saying. Yeah.
this too.
Same thing.
Oh, wow, so I got 2 iconics in a row.
Right now you do, yeah.
Absolutely. You're doing it.
So
yourself.
are we?
Where's the
heading
mic? I
on
gotta
the
drop.
road
I'm
of
out.
saying
Don't turn to the side.
Mark is leveling to become a beer icon according to our music episode in Connecticut. Dude, you innovated a brew pub.
Look at that.
I didn't
I'm
innovate
not
it.
gonna-
I didn't innovate it. I just made
Here.
it better. I just made it better. I turned it into a brewery restaurant. That's why we were called a brewery restaurant instead of a brew pub.
You guys had to make it so that our state
actually
could tax
won.
you appropriately, so I believe you innovated an industry.
I actually won my 4th year. It was my 4th year open, I think. We won the best brewery in the entire Northeast.
That's incredible.
From the Brewery magazine.
Nice.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
That
Congrats
thing's-
again.
I don't know where the hell that thing is. It's a nice glass trophy. Who the fuck is that?
Maybe
Last
it's with my
trophy you have- is
SPC
in your
glass.
basement.
That's right.
Yeah, you somehow have it in
you better have.
Tell me what it looks like. Does it still look good? Yeah, it still
It looks great.
He buffs it
I
out.
polish it every week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See? But you hit a
They
lot
do.
of
It's
major hits on that album.
Yeah.
Which,
Oh, yeah, for sure.
once you start, and Aerosmith had the same kind of
It's like American Badass.
thing. Yeah, like once you have that same sort of thing where like, okay, you're gonna throw all these albums out where you get 4, 5, 6 top 10 songs, right? That will
One
cross
album can
over.
put 'em over, yeah.
That'll cross over. So now you've got alternative, you've got rock, and it's gonna cross over to pop because
Right.
top 40 is gonna play
Right.
too. Once in that age,
You mean
at
AC
that
101?
Yes. At that time, and this is coming from, I worked in radio for a short period of time, still in the early 2000s when radio was a thing. Elders, you had they called them cats. So you had cat A, cat B, cat C, and depending on number one, what the like industry album company. So if it's whatever, like Atlantic or Capitol, however many cats you buy, you're gonna buy spins, right? Same thing like you buy plays on Spotify. If you are at the point where you're a cat A spin, you're gonna be played more times in that hour than anything else, and that has a lot to do with the record company buying in and being like, hey, you need to play this more. And then you have your cat B's and you have your cat C's. So yes, you were starting to spin in rock at this time that was not necessarily on your pop stations.
It was more mainstream, but still hard.
Right. Well,
You've got the adult alternative rock, like is the Duran Durans, like I was saying, and like
They're
the
great.
Tears for Fears and the George
Duran
Michaels.
Yeah, Duran Duran was great.
It's like Crosby, Stills, Nash, and DuBois. I'm just saying.
is that your next beer?
I wish. But that's so right. So like once you have those cats in play, it's gonna
I
make it
dated,
different.
when I was in college, I dated a girl. She was at what's the college, all-girls school at
Laurel
Salve
Hill.
Regina.
Oh, that's right. That's where I went to school. Oh, dude, you want to hear holy shit, dude.
That's a whole other podcast,
So
everyone.
think about this, because I'm
episode 2.
at that age. I got my freshman year.
Yep.
Was 2 years removed from being an all-girls school.
Oh.
It was 12 to 1.
I thought you were joking around. I thought
12 to 1.
At
dude.
St. Joe's?
Shooting fish in a beer. It was insane. It was insane.
Wait, St. Joe's is all girls?
And I did my it used to be all
I
girls.
thought Laurelton was only all girls.
No, not St. Joe. I'm talking
Salve Regina.
Oh, Regina.
No, when you
yeah,
said-
yeah, yeah.
I
Oh,
lived in-
yeah.
I was living on Thames Street, the
Yeah,
main drag,
right.
so I was on Gidley. You know
Yeah.
where the red pyramid is?
Yeah.
That next right there. So my house was
Salve is
my house was
beautiful.
the third one up.
Beautiful
I was
campus,
playing
right on the
rugby.
cliff walk.
I
was
walked
playing rugby.
that
Okay.
campus
So I
as
had
part
to.
of my
We
choices.
were
When
the
you
rugby
said you
house.
went to Salve Regina, I thought you meant like you went there like every
No,
weekend.
I went to college. That's where I went to college, dude.
I never knew it was a college.
And I was an
school.
art major, which is even better.
Oh, shit,
Holy
Mark.
shit! All those.
And you were like a ski instructor? Like, oh my god, Mark.
all those.
It's just a Mark
all
feature.
Those goth girls. Yep. The black boots up to the knees. It was insane.
Big titty gossip.
It was awesome. I used to leave my house in the morning. You walk down Thames Street.
Yep.
Go right past the red pyramid.
Yep,
Right?
love the red carrot.
Go right past the red pyramid. Start walking down. You had I can't remember the name of O'Brien's. 3 people in there. Hey, what's up? Come in and get a beer. No, I can't. I got class. And it's the highest percentage of bars in the country on that street.
Yeah.
One next building down. People, hey, come in, no, can't, I got class. Third one, okay, 1 beer. 1 beer. Leave. 4th one, okay, 2 beers. Fine.
Welcome
5th one,
to what it's like with
I'm
Mark
buying a
leaving
keg.
the brewery.
I'm buying a keg. It's midnight, and there's 30 people at my house.
Right, exactly.
I never made it to class.
Well, that's
It was awesome.
That's
It
a
was awesome.
great transition into how Mark went through college.
Yeah, that's how I went through college.
Like a rock.
Like a rock. Like a rock.
Yeah, right. So smooth. Now this
Like a rock.
Bob
Like a
Seger.
rock.
I love Bob Seger.
Bob Seger.
So-
You know how much I love Bob Seger.
You guys, well, no, of course you guys don't. So right across the river over there in Shelton was a place called Pinecrest.
Okay.
So Pinecrest.
They don't know, Mark.
Yeah, they don't know. It's way long ago. So Pinecrest used to be an outdoor venue, outdoor music venue, like big.
Oh,
It was
okay,
one of the first. It was probably the first one in Connecticut.
Okay.
And when I was a kid,
Yeah, it was an outdoor amphitheater.
I grew up on the Farm Mill River, which is this Housatonic River feeds into Farm Mill River feeds into this river. So I grew up on the river. Right across the river was Pinecrest. So we listened to concerts every Saturday. It was awesome. You go outside, hang around with your friends, throwing the ball around, listening to concerts. And I remember Bob Seger it was absolutely, it was, what do you call it? Turn the page.
Yep.
Turn the page, I was like, I was a
Who
kid,
is
I was
this
like,
guy?
holy shit, I probably was 8 at the time. I can't remember, when did that come out, 70 something or?
Turn the page.
Yeah, I was young, I remember being young.
Got it.
Oh, that's live. The live album came out in 76.
Yeah.
The Turn the Page.
Yeah, so it was like 78, I think it was 78, so I was like 9 years old, I was born in 69.
Okay.
So I remember just listening to it, being like this, and it was they all did them during the day. It wasn't nighttime.
Okay.
So I just loved it. I loved it. So I always loved Bob Seger. So I actually still have his albums, all his albums at my house. I have a couple of them, never opened, still have them wrapped. So
Bob Seger is a legend in his own accord
And
for
like a rock-
many people
and he
for
would-
many reasons.
Oh, yeah. Well, his voice alone. I mean, that.
Seriously.
That
Yep.
voice alone.
Seriously.
And his music writing.
Everybody knows night moves. For anybody listening that's not sure, everybody knows night moves.
Old time rock and roll. You know, same thing.
Could have used a few But so like a
Just
rock,
take a
dude,
few
absolutely my
minutes
40s,
on
dude, because you're not in your 20s anymore, you're not in your 30s anymore, and your life's starting to catch up to you, dude.
Yeah.
You know, and you are fighting every day at that point.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Now I got a mortgage, I got insurance, I got everything. I'm paying, now you're at work so that you can pay to live.
Right.
You're not. I go to work. I still do to this day, and I'll tell anybody. I go to work every day because I owe people money. That's it. I gotta pay bills. That's why I go to work every day, because I owe people money.
We
If I didn't
don't
owe anybody
like to
money,
work, but we have to work.
I would do this differently. It would be more of a hobby rather than a full-on business. You know?
Right. Well,
You could be the silent partner as opposed to the guy in the grind. I get it. It's a
Actually,
different.
I always say, because my brother, when we talk about myself and my brother, we're a year apart. We've always been, very tight since we were kids. Always been in business together. Always done stuff together. And I always say, it's like he's the head, I'm the hands.
I call him the hustle and the muscle. That's why I was like,
Nice.
there's the person who shakes the hands and kisses the babies, and there's the person who can make shit go based
That's
on the
Kobe. You
grind
can't
and
kiss
doing that. You can kiss I will lick a baby right now. I will motorboat baby legs all day, just so we're clear. Baby legs are adorable. I will
Ricky
take
Bobby.
them
You can sign
down.
it for
I'm
us.
gonna do it. I have no problems. But yeah, like
I like to imagine baby Jesus.
6 pound man.
I'll take that baby. Let's
Yeah.
go, baby.
I love that
Yeah.
part of that movie.
I just
With
Turn your heads,
Wayne
kid. Turn your heads.
singing Lynyrd Skynyrd, which is our next song.
Move away.
You shut your mouth. I find Mark and Bill to be so complementary to each other.
Oh yeah.
Whatever one doesn't or can't do, the other one does and can do.
Our whole life's been like that.
And I wish I could have known you guys in that other secondary lifespan, because knowing you now is.
Well, we're a lot easier to get along with.
Well, it's a privilege because in that same sense, it's like I'm the annoying little sister they never had.
No, I have a little sister.
Yeah, and,
do.
and
She's insane.
She's also insane. So I feel like I can
insane.
relate to her in that
she's
regard.
insane.
And Bill and Mark have been wonderful partners to work with here, and that comes from understanding how we can all make shit go. Everybody's inevitable bottom line is making the bottom line
Yeah.
happen.
As long as you do your job, you're
So I can look at Bill and go, I need X and Y for X and Y, and I look at Mark and go, can you help me fix this? And he's like, yeah, just get me a paper clip and some bubble gum, and we'll make it happen. And
It'll work.
yeah, like
Every time I walk out of the building, it's working.
yeah. So it's a privilege to be able to be in that circumstance, because I learn a lot, not just about the science of beer, which is how someone like me falls in love with this. I have my own 2 kids. Second shift is weird. This isn't something I fell in love loving. And I just my 13-year-old asked me about careers, the other day we were talking about it. He's like, Mom, I don't know that I want to go to school anymore. I was like, you're in 8th grade, number 1, okay? Not going to happen. But 2, carry on. I want to know what your theory
what's the
is,
reason?
right? What's the theory? He goes, I'm in class with a lot of morons. I said, okay, describe said morons. And he goes, well, we all get in trouble if we're not doing something together. He's like, I could complete the task. They can screw off, basically, and even though I did it, there's no motivation for me to do it if none of us are going to get anything
So
from
he
it.
understands life.
Exactly.
I have an 80-year-old man and a 13-year-old brother.
Yeah, right, he
He's
gets
he's next level. He gets it. So he's like, I said, dude, listen. There's a lot of successful people who have quit school and dropped out over time. I said, but they didn't do it in 8th grade, number 1. He goes, listen, man, Bill Gates is a bajillionaire, and you know, look at him. Well, right. I was like I've said before, I either have Steve Jobs or a serial killer. I'm not sure which kid I have bred, but
At this point, we still don't know.
We don't know. We're 13. Okay, hormones are weird.
Either way, they'll be famous.
Where's the cat? Where's the cat?
I know. So
Is that what kind of hat is that?
that's where I'm at. So like, this is a kid who understands that like the game isn't as simple as the game seems.
It is.
And he's not willing
Just
to.
not at that age.
He's not willing to adapt. He knows too much. He's reached that point. And I keep trying to tell him, like, dude, stick it out. Do the things that you don't want to do, because life's gonna serve you shit you don't want to do for a long time. And then eventually you'll get the things you want to do. And hopefully it gets a little easier.
You gotta get it yourself.
This just got really inspirational.
It did.
I want to go like punch a wall, like
Welcome to Bob
fist through a
Seger.
wall.
Bob Seger makes
Yes.
me
He does that
feel this
to
way.
Yes.
Bob
Like
Seger,
a rock.
Tim Rabbit.
I'm saying
Like a
it.
fucking rock.
Straight.
Like a
I
rock,
am
baby.
walking in my
Standing in
40s
straight,
right
baby.
now.
Any
I'm Bob Seger.
any fun facts about Like a Rock? Other than it was in the Chevy commercial, which
It
I love.
was in the Chevy commercial, which was like its biggest.
That's all I could think
kind
about.
of-
I'm
yeah.
like, anytime we hear that
That's
song.
not right, dude. But I'm sure he needs a lot more.
Well, no, but
You're not. Well, how old are you?
I'm 32.
You have no idea what rock means.
exactly.
So
I
it's a Chevy- it's a Chevy
associated with
commercial for you.
so that
So-
I am immediately transported back to that time. Like it's just synonymous.
Charger?
Yeah.
So interesting is that it was 86 was when it came out. The album was called Like a Rock.
Yes.
The title
Yeah.
track of the album.
Yep.
But Silver Bullet was what we were talking about for a while before
and-
this too. With Bob Seger.
The last song is actually a live cover of Fortunate Son by CCR.
Oh, that's cool.
Is it really? I don't
Yep,
remember
that's
that.
the last song on the
I
album.
listened to that album before
It
I
is
came
a
here
live-
today.
Ah,
Yeah.
that's fantastic.
It's a live
I wanna
cover
listen
of
to that.
CCR's Fortunate Son,
You can play that
which
out
I
later.
just thought
That might be one of the albums I never opened.
kind of random, you know?
Never would have known.
Because that song came out in '83.
What are we going now? Dubious?
So-
No, we'll say
What do you want
Dubious.
to talk about?
Yeah,
Sure. Okay.
we got one more song.
One more
right?
song, so
we got
yeah,
one more
for it.
song.
Oh, so Dubious.
All right,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, we do this, yeah.
Yeah. Good idea.
All right.
Yeah, I like in the lyrics. I thought you probably would have picked it because it was like 20 years now. Where do they go? 20 years. I don't
That's what I'm
know.
telling you, dude. It's like, it really is. When you got into my 40s, it was. It's now.
Yeah, it's like
now
going by
life
the Flash.
is a. Holy shit!
Right.
I got kids I got to take care
You're
of.
in it.
I got insurance I got to pay. I got
Yeah.
mortgage. You got. And so every day you got up, it was like, okay, I gotta win today. I gotta win
Yep.
every single day. So that's
Exactly.
exactly why that song just totally encompasses when you get to that point. That's cool.
Exactly. Yeah.
I got off the train.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm at the station with a tie on.
In Georgia?
Driving a Chevy.
Another great song, dude. All the way to the end.
Cool.
of Georgia.
So our last beer.
Last year.
Tell us about.
Last
Could
beer
not
during
be-
the show.
Couldn't be more aptly perfect to put on
Simple kind of
Skynyrd
man? Yeah.
with this song with this beer.
Yeah. It is perfect. It is perfect. And it is true. That's what I'm striving for.
Dubious.
Dubious. Tell us about
Yeah,
Dubious.
cheers to Dubious.
Cheers.
Cheers
Yes.
to Dubes
Cheers. Cheers to the
To the
Dubes.
Dubes.
and cheers to the
Fat
legalization
Dubes-
of the
Fat Dubes
Dubes.
is great
Yes.
music, right? Fat Dubes is great music.
Yeah.
That's it, man.
Listen, I don't think the man would get mad at you about Dubage these days. If you went, if
well,
you
now you can, right? Now
well,
you
I
can.
was just gonna
Everything's legal.
say, you can do what you do
Have some
without it
Dubious,
being an
we'll listen
issue.
to
Yeah, right.
So recreational use of Dubage
Yeah,
is
right.
good.
Congratulations.
So I like what you said when Lauren was pouring the drinks, that Lupified is the brewer's beer.
Yeah.
Whereas this is the
People's beer.
Yeah.
This
It's
is-
the
love
people's
that.
I
beer.
brew this for my customers.
Yeah.
For people who, well,
It's what the people hop-wise have clamored for. And
Yeah, I mean,
I think so because it's not. It's a New England that has a backbone. is what it is.
it's got
You
bite.
know what it is? You know what it is? It's a New England that an old brewer makes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is what it is.
Yeah.
Somebody who understands that
Yeah.
it should taste like beer and not fucking.
Well, and not
Juice.
every
Yeah.
hop is supposed to taste like orange juice. Like, and
I can try telling that to the kids.
well, I'm gonna say it louder
I
for the
gotta
kids
agree.
in the back.
Yeah.
Is that some beer should have a backbone. You came into this industry with IPAs. They are not the way that they are now. Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
My favorite style is pale ale still to this day.
still, yeah,
Great
you
pale
love your
ales
pale
are the
ale.
best. Sierra Nevadas,
Yep.
the
Sierra Nevada.
But like, you don't. IPAs are built differently. But like, IPAs
beer.
originally
Tastes
were
like beer.
built differently. Like I think of Number 9. Magic Hat was a
Oh,
beer
yeah.
that I
Great
think
stout
that I
beer.
grew up on, and that was one of those beers that if you were
haven't had
drinking
that
an
in a long
IPA, like that
Yeah,
was
but when it was
what.
made with actual apricot.
Correct.
Yeah,
Back in 112 years ago when we were born.
Right.
Like that was what you got. When I went to Burlington at 21 years old, that's what you got out of
you got?
Burlington. Was the actual Number 9.
Number 9, yeah. It tastes
And Long Trail and things like that.
Catamount, Long Trail.
Yeah,
You went
like
to the Vermont Pub and Brewery and drank his
seriously.
ESB, which is outstanding.
Yup. You
went to-
don't.
went
They
to,
don't like the IPAs
McNeil's
that.
and drank the craziest shit in the world, and it was 90 degrees.
But
Yeah,
the IPAs were not what they
a beer
are.
engine beer.
It was all. There wasn't any imported Australian or New Zealand citrus
It was just
hops.
extreme.
There
Yeah, no
wasn't
gimmicks.
anything like that yet. So
The hops I used to use are doorstops. I
seriously,
hope my office door was open.
But that's
It's cheaper
where.
to throw them away.
So I was just talking about this with someone the other day. Is I feel like way back in olden times, people built grain bills off of the sweetness of grain to offset the bitterness of hop blend to a degree.
You either went bready or you went sweet.
Right, you went on the opposite
Or
side on the
caramel-y,
grain, not the hop. And now you can go hop forward and shit all over your grain bill. But I'm sorry, grain bill
I
fucking
think
matters.
I think every grain
That
bill
is the
pretty much
most-
close to the same.
Right, everybody's grain bill's the same, or if it's not, it has to do with a flaked version or a rolled version or an iteration
Talk about that
of
rolled
that.
version.
Just saying.
That's old school too.
So I mean, I do feel when it comes to the birth of the IPA that we know, the New England IPA, this is what everybody has over time understood. Citra forward with a
Oh yeah, these are the original.
that's what I'm
Well, I
saying.
mean, look
And
at-
your
look at-
David
look
Lee
at
Roth
Henny
hop
Hopper.
is
Right,
Citra.
look at what Greg Noonan was doing up at Vermont Pub and Brewery. It doesn't taste anything like what you're tasting right now. The
Yeah.
original New England's are more closer to this.
Right.
They had more hop bite to them, and they were heavily. They were still doing boil hops in them, but they were just heavily dry.
Yep.
What I like nowadays is, breweries are everywhere, and it just makes.
I got one in my living room.
Yeah, seriously. It just makes craft beer like this just accessible for everyone.
Yeah,
you know,
sure,
like,
totally. It's a great
and
thing. It is a great thing.
in the last, call it 20 years, it's just blown up, and you can get a beer like this anywhere you go, and that's what I love.
I think it's just funny too, though, for me, like coming from the marketing side, having walked through some of the development of seeing this, is that 21-year-olds that grew up with like Sip of Sunshine, right?
Right.
That's what they got in college. Like, fuck you, first
Right,
of all.
right.
Because like I had Natty Ice, and that
Yeah.
was what I had in a fucking
Well, the
keg.
fact
So
that you can spend $20 a 4-pack is insane.
and
Yeah, right.
you would get it. You would get Sip, right?
It's only fans. Yeah.
So
But it's a
Sip-
great beer. It's a great
Yeah,
beer.
that's why.
Sip was what people started at 21. Now those 21-year-olds are 31, and they're like, I had this great thing. It's a lager, and I was like, go fuck yourself. Like, do you have any idea?
Yeah.
Like, first of all, lagers are really hard. They sound simple to make, but they are probably to me
That's when you know a brewery's a good brewery.
the hardest thing to nail
Really?
is the
Really good.
lager.
Okay.
So it might seem like this is the thing.
Very
It's not.
technical brewery.
The
Very
lager
technical.
is the most
You can't hide
critical.
anything.
You can't hide it.
That's true.
Well, I feel like, yeah, with an
There's four
IPA, you
great-
can hide
there's four- you can hide
you make
it.
a hop, you can hide a lot behind it,
Yep.
citrus
Lagers
flavor.
are-
If your
Yeah,
base
four
is shit, you
ingredients
can
and
hop
that's
it,
it.
and you
Okay.
can make that
Wow.
base not great.
That's interesting. I never really thought of it like that.
Yeah.
So
'Cause
the
it's-
31-year-olds
Makes
that are
sense.
walking out from being 21-year-olds in the precedence of the New England IPA are now rediscovering Lagerland,
Right.
which is
is
cool.
great.
It's cool. It's cool as hell.
Yeah.
To be able to see that happen, and I'm seeing it more now with people who are like, I would like a lager. I was like, I'm sorry, how old are you? Can I see your ID? Because I'm
Is that
shocked.
like ordering a Long Island iced steak?
Seriously.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah, I
like,
do.
do you have a goal? Because I'm not sure if this is the one for you.
Yeah.
But yeah,
People are getting. I got.
they're
kinda,
discovering
there
their
was a little.
palate.
There was a little bit of time in years back, or not years back, but a few years back, that it was like, all right, come on, let's bring beer back. Everybody's bringing beer. Everybody's. I mean,
Oh,
a lot
yeah.
of beer, especially Connecticut. These beers are
Connecticut's
everything.
bringing it.
Everything is shifting
Unbelievable.
back around in a
Unbelievable
cool
how good
ass
these
way.
beers are.
I've seen
I
a
gotta
lot
tell
more
you,
true ales
Every
in their
brewery I've been
traditional
to
styles.
So far in Connecticut,
Well, we work closely with Witch Doctor up in Southington.
Oh,
They're great guys.
They're my neighbor. Rob was my neighbor for a long time.
Rob's a great guy.
But he doesn't stop talking.
No.
You think we talk a lot?
No, I like Rob. They're good
That's
guys.
the best thing. To
Love
have somebody
him.
who actually listens.
But no, we talk with him. You know, the
Rob
owner
and
Josh,
Josh are good
Mike.
people.
Actually, it was Mike's birthday today.
Oh,
Happy birthday, Mike!
It won't be when it comes out.
No,
but
we're not.
But like, I'll take today as a birthday moment
That's
for you
fine.
as well.
Yeah.
But you know, same idea. They'll
Is he
sit
in the
there.
have a drink on me, or is he in the
Which
I
category
believe
of
he's
decade?
in.
Is he like
I think
a
it was
rocking
35.
right
I was
now?
going to say,
Night
must be
train.
night
Night
train.
In the night train light. Hey.
But you know, same idea. Like they'll sit there and talk to you, like you guys, about the beers, and specifically about like what they're doing and what's going on. You know, they're always
Those guys are good guys.
Same thing, bringing beers out of the back that are still warm out of the vat.
Yeah, right,
Hey, try
yeah.
this, try this.
Yeah.
You know, but it just shows that
passion.
the passion for exactly what you're doing.
Yeah.
Like you're saying, you know,
For sure.
bringing back that.
And there's no shortage of industry excellence. Like, you know, we were just talking the other day about how neither of us have gone to Treehouse ever in our lives.
Never.
And
Same. Never
like,
been there.
I've
Never
never
been.
been. None of you?
None
oh
of
my
us.
god, this is
Never
the most
been.
virginal
Let's
table
all
of
go to
Treehouse I've ever
Treehouse.
been.
Wow.
I've had it.
We
I
should
wish
all
they-
go.
But that's the
I
thing.
wish they would teach me what they're doing, because I'd love to be treated.
Sure, because
Yeah.
money
Yeah.
is wonderful. But
Seriously,
at the other side of the coin, you can go. I've had cans of Treehouse, right? So if
Yeah,
you had
of
it,
course.
cool, whatever.
Well, Julie's is very good.
It
Yeah.
is.
That's a very green, a very good beer.
Yeah.
It's also
Listen,
very good.
green, all the G's with green, all of them are
that's
great.
really great.
But just like you were saying about Real Apricot number 9, Julius 8 years ago was a different beer than it is right now, and that's okay.
Keeping up.
But that's okay. Your demand
gotta
and your
adapt.
push and your movement
You gotta
moves.
adapt.
That
But
said,
they also now, because they have to do so much, and this is something I just heard in the trade, is that they're aging. It's not as fresh because they're aging because they know you're not going to get it
you're not getting it immediately.
immediately, so they're aging it a little bit so that you're used to what
That
it tastes
profile,
like.
it makes sense.
Makes total sense.
Totally makes sense. And
That's
I mean,
what I heard. I don't know if it's true or not. But
yeah, to every line warrior that stood in lines for cans and played that game, cool on you, good luck, good Godspeed. Keep it going. But at the same time, I think that universe is gone. That age of line life isn't the same.
no,
But you don't stand in line the
doesn't
way
seem to be-
you
there doesn't
used
seem
to.
Well, I never stood in line.
That's what I'm saying.
You can order
You show the brewers
online.
market.
I think you
Yeah.
want to online now.
Now
COVID,
it's
I walked through the
changed
kitchen.
that.
You can
Yeah,
reserve.
their
now it's a
experience.
little different. So in that
backdoor man.
in that same sense, there's 120
Great song, the
breweries.
doors.
There it is. Next year. That'll be
The
next year.
music's over. Turn out the lights.
There's
Yeah.
120 breweries in this state.
Seriously,
I can
yes.
get incredible beer without standing in line for 2
really
hours
can.
waiting for
really
it.
can,
So
actually, yeah.
I don't
Yeah, the
care
standing
about
line's
that
kind of-
being a
I think
privilege.
standing in line is part of the whole.
Part of
Is
the
it?
experience.
Like, it's not my experience.
I know, but I think it's fun. It's like-
I think it was a time, and
it.
I
Not an
think
experience
that
I'm going to do, but it's an
it's
experience.
not an experience.
You can do.
If you want to,
Well, they're on Cape Cod now, so like
they do have.
they're-
They have a
it's becoming
sandwich
more
location now.
accessible.
Yeah. So, and like I said, again, they figured out the juju. They figured out what their
figured it out.
Kool-Aid
They figured it
is, and I think that's
Boy,
very
they
smart
figured it
for what they do. Listen, there's no knock on the brand. The
I
brand
don't
has
know if
figured
they
out
figured
business,
it out
man.
or somehow
They figured
were the
business
right
there.
place, right time,
They
right
stepped
beer.
into it.
Yeah.
It was like
It's a little bit
somebody
of both,
did
I think.
something, and then it just the snowball.
The
just
magic
grew.
caught the way the industry was moving at the time.
Yep.
And-
I got.
but
We have
now,
a buddy from the
Trillium's
podcast.
better.
He lives
Trillium
like
is better.
not
Trillium
far.
is
Trillium
way
awesome.
better.
Trillium.
We've been there.
way
Trillium's
better.
good.
Yeah, we went.
Times a million.
So we go to Trillium.
Times a million.
We go to
We got
Zero gravity.
We
Yeah.
got. We have
Zero grad's great.
Madonna.
We have a guy
Zero
with
grad.
us, and he's got a fake. He's not 21, he's 20. So we go to Trillium, and he hands it to the guy, and the guy goes, he looks at him, he's looking down. And the kid goes, what?
Yeah.
It's my ID. And he goes, oh, you're from Jersey? So am I.
Yeah.
He pulls out his ID.
Here's ID.
Oh, fuck you!
So he's doing this.
Yeah.
And so now, my buddy had already gotten a beer, you had already gotten a
Yep,
beer.
yep.
I'm in line with the other kids
you're right,
waiting,
you're right,
so
you're
I'm
right.
like, so these guys
Now
are
I'm
like
out.
these guys are drinking quick because they're like, well, we're gonna have to leave.
Yeah,
out.
sucks for you,
I'm
Michael.
not shitting for like 10 minutes. He's looking back and forth. He finally goes,
Nah, fuck it.
all right,
Yeah,
and he
whatever.
gives it back, and we're like,
He
what
was like,
the
you know what?
fuck?
And he's like, you know what? The
Yeah.
kid didn't walk away. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he stood his ground.
But then we went to a different bar, And the greatest bar.
The
Boston.
greatest bar, yeah.
Guy looks at the ID, hands
Yeah,
it back,
right
goes,
away.
I can't let you in. He goes, why? He goes, it's fake. And he goes, fair enough.
Yeah.
And we left.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
And that was it.
The whole goal of
Good
that,
for you.
the whole
Good
goal of
for
that
you.
trip, we were trying to get Bruins tickets to
We
go
were.
see. This was right before COVID hit, like a
Oh,
month
it was
before.
literally like a
Oh
month.
shit.
Yeah.
Trying to get Bruins tickets.
and
It
we
was
did
so
it.
expensive.
So we ended up
It's
just
the only hockey
drinking
game I've
around.
ever been to is a Bruins game.
So expensive.
We ended up just walking around Boston,
drinking our
we
faces
watched,
off.
we
And
watched
how
the
great is
game,
that?
and
It
then
was probably
left.
a
But
great
then we
time,
watched the game at one of the breweries.
Night shift.
Night shift.
Win
Night shift.
highlights.
Oh,
Yeah.
night
Yeah.
shift.
We went to night shift,
I'm
we watched the
about it.
game, and then we left.
They're distributed
Oh my
around
God.
here. They have one of my favorite
God.
logos.
What a day. What a day.
Night shift is wonderful.
Got
All right,
Last
so
song, Simple
let's,
Man.
let's
Simple kind of man.
well, it's called
That's it.
Simple Man. Yeah.
No kind of man. That's what I strive to be.
1973, off of pronounced Lynyrd Skynyrd.
I
believe it was
And
their
I was
phys
already,
ed
and I was
teacher.
already wiping
Yes.
my own ass at that point. Not unlike you guys.
No.
73. They were twinkles.
Yeah, they were
But yeah, Lynyrd Skynyrd, I believe, was their PE teacher at the time.
Yes, he
one of
was.
them. And
Yeah.
that was what they, Lynyrd Skynyrd is how they
Their
named
Netflix,
it.
their Netflix special is great. If you
He's
haven't
super
watched
really?
it, it's wonderful.
I have heard that. I
Their
have not
Netflix
had a chance to watch
documentary
I have not seen
is
it.
exceptional.
Cool.
Watch it. It is
All right.
very good. That's all I'm gonna
Never
say.
seen it.
Go Netflix.
Yeah, my
Leonard
buddy
Skinner
sent it
documentary.
together.
Very, you would appreciate it.
I don't get to watch TV.
I know you're a very
I'm with
busy
you on
man. I'll give you the cliff notes. It's
I go
fine.
home and I go toes up. That's what I do.
That's it.
Toes straight up and I'm home
He,
down.
That'll be
the
me
head,
tonight.
The head goes back. He crosses his
that's what I
arms.
do.
It's like Dracula. He's no nights.
All right.
What a song, man.
Yep,
It's a great song.
It's a
And
great
you can't
song.
go wrong. It is
This
something
was
I
the other one
strive-
from your
it's
wedding.
something
It
I'm
was.
striving to be.
Yeah.
Of course, yeah.
Well, but Mark, like
One of
in
the perfect
this
songs.
in this particular song, I don't see you as a simple man based on simple. If we're defining that at
I
all,
don't think that's what he's talking about.
I
That's not
know.
what he's singing about. I think he's singing more about it's more about
easiness.
an easiness,
Yeah.
Right.
soulfulness, your
But that's why I was like, I want to define this a little
your
differently for
character
you.
basically. Right. I
Yeah,
think it's more character. Right.
Yeah.
And that's basically what I strive for. Every
it's
day.
dialing.
More character.
It's
It's about
dialing
the
it
simple
in.
I'd rather have
things.
more
It's about the simple things in life.
Dialing it into that is incredible.
It's the understanding. It's the understanding.
What do you enjoy?
It's the ability to say you're sorry. It's the,
Yeah.
it's the ability to love.
Right. The
You know, that
basic
kind of
human
accept-
characteristics that you
accept
want.
friendships, accept love towards your friends.
But it's
your
loyalty
family.
and respect and understanding.
Loyalties, that kind of
Big,
stuff.
big
I
stuff.
totally agree. That's basically where I'm basically at. I totally
Yep.
am.
I'm about to cry.
I'm actually
I don't know
right
about
there.
you
Oh
guys.
my god!
So lyrically-
Are we I Love You Man?
yeah.
Right now as a
So
teen?
We got it. We
Yeah, you
reached the
say that,
point.
you say that though, but like now it's funny because when I'm with my best friends and stuff like even at the end of phone calls, we say, "Hey, love you."
Yeah.
And then
Because
hang
you
out, and
don't
then
know
love
if
you
you're
too,
going
love
to
you
talk
too,
to
and
them
then hang out.
differently.
It's a big
the next
Done it a
time.
lot. I know.
10 years ago, I said that. I fucking punch you right in the mouth.
True.
No, I got you.
Yeah.
So lyrically, the song was, I guess, originated around like a mother talking to a
Yes,
child.
yes,
And it
yeah.
was inspired by the passing of his grandmother.
Right, yes.
His grandmother had passed away, so that was kind of for the like music nerd side of things. As we were talking about
Yay.
earlier, it was written in the key of C, which is all fine and
Basics.
good. But
That's
then
basics.
they tuned the guitars down a half a step, and they actually
minor.
played it in like a B, which I'm not sure why. We were
Yeah.
discussing
Full B?
maybe it was a vocal thing, because C is a half step above B.
Yeah,
so
the speed is really sharp.
yeah, no,
See, this
drums.
is when you lose me.
This is
Okay.
the drummer.
Because I
That's
count
the
to
drummer.
four.
Yeah,
but
but
the-
the,
you guys know the
music,
song?
the musician
Oh, yeah, we
in
know the
me
song.
sits
Do it
on
in C,
that
see what
part.
it's
That's
Well,
a huge change.
whenever I played it, it's meant in C. So my understanding would only be that maybe they wanted a half step lower for the vocals.
Did you ever do it in B?
I've never played it in B.
Play it in B. See how you
It's
feel.
interesting. We'd have to do that.
Yeah, see how
That
you
would be
feel.
weird to sing it in the
Turn the lights
beat.
down, though.
But that would be like
candles,
singing to
you
the
know?
album.
Shoes
exactly.
off on
So-
a carpet.
It's just strange when you
I love
look
you,
at
man.
something like that.
That's meaty.
Why that one song would be a half step down.
Yeah, we're
Well,
not sure.
B
Maybe it's
has
that.
a
Maybe
lot.
it's that understanding of the song.
B flat,
what
B
it actually
sharp.
means,
If
yeah.
you're a music
Could be.
human, right? So if you play in B,
Yep.
there's a lot of things in minor or major on B that have a lot of differentials. So like if you listen to a horror movie, if it goes B minor, all of a sudden you're fucking terrified.
Yeah. Dude.
But if you're
Okay.
like B sharp, you're having a cheerleader. Like there's like it's two
Everybody gets
different
that.
major chords. C's every
everybody's chord. C is everybody's
Right.
happy.
Me
Right.
personally,
Chord, that's your
personally, I
chord
like
magic, break C.
Yeah.
So,
As an acapella
Perfect
for
C.
too long.
Perfect C.
same.
There he is.
C is your major happy chord, but the moment you go flat or you go sharp, you're all of a sudden like listening to a Halloween movie.
Exactly.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
we were over here. We were talking about how we like double D's.
As you should.
D's better. D is better.
Yeah.
Favorite chord. Favorite chord.
But it's interesting that the
Sounds
whole,
just like a motorboat. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
exactly.
Yep.
Son of a bitch.
You know, it's interesting that you motorboat son of a
That
bitch.
low motorboat.
But
I am
give me
curious.
3 Steps and Freebird. Only 2 singles.
Yeah,
So
off that album. That's,
Simple Man and Tuesday's Gone didn't make it, which is kind of strange.
That's
Tuesday's
weird, yeah.
Gone
Tuesday's
did
Gone
not
is a
make
great song.
It was
that.
not a single. It was on the album. It was the second song on the album. Not a
well,
single.
it's like
One of my
back then. It's like
It's one- that's
did-
literally
you
one of my
wonder like did they
favorites.
focus a
But
lot
again-
on singles
but again,
back then?
second-
Yeah, but well, I was gonna
When
say
you
7
look-
minutes.
Radio
so it
was
like the
different
time
then,
limit
though.
Yeah,
thing.
right.
That, and the other thing too is when you think about like
They're
some of the
also
other albums,
playing
they were
in
what,
some
3 years apart,
competition.
2 years apart.
Right.
Freebird's 9 minutes.
Lynyrd Skynyrd came out in
Not on the
'73.
radio, was it?
Second Helping came out in '74.
Right.
They were pumping an album
Yeah,
out
they were
every
pumping
year.
it out.
Right.
So there's no time for
Well, they
more
didn't
than
have
2 or
time. They were
3
getting in
songs.
the plane crash.
Boom. Then, yes. And,
They had time left. They're like, ew, get these songs out. We gotta get these
We
songs
are
out.
gonna
and then
aerate ourselves.
Street Survivors came out, and that was the end
And
of
that
it.
was it. Yeah. Yep.
But the 70s were number one, a wildly political transitionary time, but also
70s were
music.
awesome.
But the music was
The
so
trucks back then, all that shit.
virally different.
Sorry about that.
The music.
That's the baker calling from Dealer Nosy.
The music is
One of
vastly
the guys he owes
different.
money.
Yeah. Somebody had no money to.
Gotta
It's
go to
either that
work.
or my probation officer. I don't know what that is.
I thought you never were step out of a car.
That doesn't mean that I never been caught.
That's a
not in
different
a-
set of
just not in a
tools.
car.
Just not in a vehicle.
When you're running, you never get the flashlight shining in your eyes, and you never have to be taken
Just
out
get
of the car.
tackled.
Right, that's the fucking
I'm
case.
wondering, we talked about a song from your 20s, your 30s, your 40s, your 50s of your brewing career.
Yeah.
If you had to pick a song going into your next decade, what do you think?
Oh my
it would
god,
I
it's
don't
gonna be.
think it's been written yet, dude.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think it's been written yet. Cause
Are you telling me Jimmy Buffett
think-
doesn't sing your song?
Well, Jimmy Buffett would be pretty cool. About that. I don't know. No, not Jimmy. I don't think it's Jimmy Buffett because I do like Jimmy Buffett when I'm drinking down.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
I was
on
gonna
the beach and
say
stuff
the
like
right
that.
scenario.
But I don't listen to
Buffett's
him any
great.
other time.
Same.
It's like I don't eat fried chicken up here. I don't.
That's
eat
why
here.
I'm saying Cape
I
Coral
don't
is
get it.
your
Yeah.
home away from home. Like that's.
I don't know. I don't think it's been written yet. Tell the truth. It's like because I don't know who I'm going to be at that point yet.
Yeah.
You know. So I'd like to be able to, sit there
To
in
be
my
continued.
60s and say, okay, this was the song that where I, like I said, where I'm at.
All right.
Well, guys, we
wanna
appreciate
thank
you joining us on the podcast. This has been,
awesome.
for us, like we always wanted to do an episode in a brewery with people at
First
the brewery. So we appreciate you guys, taking time and joining us,
I'm
hanging
happy
out.
to bless you
Yeah.
from this particular standpoint.
Oh, this is the first time you guys did a brewery?
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
we did.
Open up the
we
computer,
did one
let's
with.
keep it going.
We did one with.
I don't give a shit.
So we appreciate that.
The
Yeah.
beers have been fantastic.
Yeah.
to me.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Honestly,
thank you, thank
I would
you,
rate
thank
all
you,
of them
thank
at least an 8 or more out of 10.
Yes.
For sure.
At
Fuck that
least.
shit.
So
No, that
Minimum.
nitro.
That
no.
Milkman,
Milkman
is gonna be
Stout.
exceptional
Milkman
this
Stout was my
weekend.
favorite.
Yeah, we just want to plug the ones we drank. So Milkman Stout.
Yeah,
And then we did Lupified, the double IPA.
Brewer's
And then
IPA.
the Brewer's IPA. And then the People's Beer.
The People's Beer.
Dubious,
Yeah.
single IPA, and Flagship.
For sure.
I enjoyed all three.
I had the
Honestly,
violet beforehand.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
I
me too.
fucking. I love sours.
Yeah, me
Sours
too.
are my
It
thing.
does.
I think I had the
Mischief, right?
Sunlight and I
did?
had the Mischief.
I just got tequila barrels in. We're going to do a lime goza and a tequila.
Wow.
Let me know. I'm in.
Nice.
That'd be awesome.
All
I'll
right.
be there.
We're
Yeah.
trying to get it ready for the
I don't know what you're
blackout,
talking about.
barrel aged.
All right.
But again, thank you guys, and
Oh, it's a lot of fun.
yeah.
You're,
This was great,
you guys
actually.
are
This was
great.
fun.
Yeah,
I
this
ate
was
it
a
at
lot
the
of
beginning,
fun.
then I have a great time doing it. I really do. I know. 'Cause
I
coming into it,
told
I'm
you,
like,
I was
fuck
like,
this.
as his PR representative,
Yes.
I'm gonna make
And
sure
then
he
when I'm
has
in,
the
I'm like, I have a great time.
he has the
good, I'm
proper
glad.
amount of Skittles and the proper amount of seating.
There you go.
My handler.
But everyone out there, Derby, Connecticut.
If you're ever in the area,
Valley's
you guys
Come
Brewery.
in the
Hi.
valley, man.
Find them on
It's worth
Instagram
it.
at Bad Sons Beer. Bad Sons. I mean, it's just a great place to be. Great logo, great name, great beer, great people, great
setting,
vibes.
Badass beer.
Huge ass
Good
fire
ass
pit
people.
outside. It's,
Hell
cool.
yeah.
It's a great place. So
Check it
again,
out.
thank you.
Thank you
And-
guys.
Appreciate it.
Our pleasure.
Of course.
Next, we're doing a really cool trio of episodes next.
Yes, this is our one-hit wonders
Yes.
trio. Yeah.
Yes.
We're doing that.
So we're each gonna pick.
One hit wonder.
Yeah. Did you ever wonder if you hear a one-hit wonder what the rest of the album sounded like?
No.
You don't? Yeah, me, exactly.
Neither do we. We're gonna do
But
it
we're
anyway.
gonna explore it
We
anyway.
would do the work that
When
no
you
one
did
else
the-
wants.
When you did the DuBage episode, I was like, I'm pretty sure Handlebars is the only thing I know. from
Well, we
those
looked
was.
into
It was.
Exactly.
But we
So
looked
it
into
was
the-
my one-hit wonder going.
Well, there you go.
I went and curiously discovered that.
Good
You're
album.
welcome.
There you go.
Solid album.
Yes. Good memory. Thank you for the shout out.
I'm good at this.
Fuck off, Tom.
Tom, who's up first? Who's doing the first one-hit wonder?
I guess.
If I do it, I think
Yeah, Joe, you
okay.
go first.
All right, what do
So
you got?
one of my favorite one-hit wonders of all time is "My Own Worst Enemy" by Lit.
Oh,
And
I
I've
love
always
that.
wondered what the rest of the album sounded like. So we will be doing "A Place in the Sun" by Lit. Don't know what beer I'm
Didn't
pairing
even
with.
know that was the album.
Because, it's me. You gotta be
You
prepared.
could
You gotta
totally
be prepared.
find one-hit wonder beers that could serve this. If
Yeah.
you need help,
This is true.
we got
So,
a guy.
I like it.
Yeah, we're gonna see what's up, but next 3 episodes are gonna be that. It's gonna be a lot of
Word.
fun.
Awesome.
I love
So once again, thank you to Lauren and Mark from Bad
guys
Sons
so
for
much.
having
that.
us.
Thank you guys.
We've been
Thanks for putting this on.
yeah,
No,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
I
And
do love it.
maybe come back and we'll do it again sometime. That'd be
Anytime.
awesome.
Anytime.
Yeah, so Hops and Bops Podcast, check us out on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. We're streaming on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. For my good friends Mike and Tom and Lauren and Mark, my new good friends, Ivan, Joe. We'll see you next time.
Peace.
Thanks.